Okay, demonstrate connecting to and launching and then connecting to the actual Amazon Web Services VM. Click on that link. That takes me to the login. I don't know why. Let me try this again. Let's right click, link in no tab. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm logging in as a generic student. Put in the password, and it needs an authentication app on your phone. I'm going to go to my authentication app for this account that I set up when I created my account. And I have to find that. There it is. I'm using Google Authenticator. And so now it lets me in. Okay. Now I am in an account that has been assigned to the AT Manning 2 account as a sub-user. So I'm clicking there. I'm going to the Power User Access. And here I will see the Elastic Compute Cloud. Click there, and I see if I have any instances running. I should not have any instances running. If I am, that means I am wasting money. So I could click here to view any instances, and I can click here to launch an instance. What we do when we launch an instance, first you select what its name is. I'll call it ATM Demo Windows Instance, Win Instance. I'm going to choose the standard base 2022 server. Take a note, it is free tier eligible. I'm going to go with the default instance type. I am going to generate a key pair, even though I could have used one I've generated from before, but I'm going to go through the creation of one. So I'm going to create a new key pair. I'm going to call it ATM Demo Win Instance. And you don't have to create a bunch of them. I'm going to use PEM, and I'm going to create the key pair. And be sure to keep track of where you download that. I'm going to put it in my downloads folder, and I'm saving it. I'm going to need this to decrypt my administrator password for my instance. The network instance settings, or the security settings, are going to be set up for you to allow RDP from anywhere. Now you can change that if you know your IP address, make it more secure, but we're going to go with the let me in from anywhere. And now we're ready to launch and go to the default storage settings. So now I come over here, launch my instances. If I actually wanted multiples, I could launch multiple instances. I'm going to launch instance. Now it's going to take about 4 minutes until it's going to let me connect. But I can always go back to my EC2 or to my instances list, and I'll see my instance is pending status. And in about 4 minutes, I will be able to click the actions, or not the actions, the instance. I'm going to be able to click on my instance here, and this will become active. I'll be able to connect with it once it is ready to go. So I'll just refresh this page, and then I should be able to connect. Now I can, and it won't let me decrypt my password until it is actually active. I'm not sure exactly why it does that for us. So I'm going to pause the recording here until this becomes active, so I don't waste your time. Okay, now let's see if we can connect. Alright, come here to connect, and we want to connect with RDP, so don't worry about SSM. RDP client. We need to use an RDP client. I'm not going to download a remote desktop file. I want to get the password, so I can keep track of that myself. So I click Get Password, and I need to upload that private key file that I had downloaded from before, and I had stored in my downloads. There it is, ATM Demo Win Instance in my downloads. Put that in there and decrypt password. And there is my password. I'm going to copy that, paste it in my notes. Now what else do I need to know to connect? Well, I need to know its external or public IPv4 address. So I'm going to come over here and put that in remote desktop. 18.116.82.124. And I'm going to connect with the administrator and the password that I decrypted using the PEM file. If you want to remember it, just fine, but I'm going to be deleting this, so I don't need to remember it. If I'm going to keep this running, I would save that password, and I can do a shutdown and restart, and until I delete the instance, it will remember files that I have saved on that machine. So I'm connecting to the remote machine, syncing a little bit while I connect, and there we go. We're seeing Windows login. Usually the first login takes longer, and it is a micro VM, minimal memory and disk, so it's not going to be super fast because you pay for faster speed. And companies that use VMs in the cloud can easily pay thousands of dollars per month for their VM running. And they do that because there's a lot of advantages to the cloud. Here I have my Windows Server 2022. So here then you can start running apps, you can run updates and explore. You can make it discoverable. It doesn't really matter because it's on the internet, but I'll go ahead and just say yes to discoverable. Now one of the first things I do, I might install Chrome instead of Edge in order to go get it. I can click on Edge, start it up. I am browsing from that machine. And just for fun, let's just go to IP Chicken and see what shows up. Let's see what we see here. Little details about my instance running. Here comes Edge. Of course, they like to start up full screen. I despise that. Slow response. No, I don't want to do any synchronizing. Windows trying to pull you in. Okay. Slow response because they're busy trying to pull you in. Okay, so here's my instance. One of the first things I'll do if I'm on an instance, just because they are slow, and Windows is a glob on the system, advanced system settings. Slow response here. Thank you very much. I don't blame it so much on AWS as Windows. Advanced system settings. And turn off all the eye candy. It's ridiculous how much is wasted of CPU just to give you all this ridiculous eye candy. Adjust for best performance. And okay. And the system is immediately peppier than it was. Okay, let's just for fun go to ipchicken.com. And you should see that external address showing up. So you're connecting through RDP, which is not terribly secure, to an AWS instance, and on that instance you are connecting to the internet. They see that address as your IP address out there. So there you have it. Now remember, before you leave, after you do all your pieces and screenshots, because we don't want to spend money unnecessarily, we can come over here and come on, there we go. We're going to power, and we're going to do a shutdown. Now, if you do a shutdown, you can start it back up and not lose files. You'll only lose all your files if you terminate it. So if I ever start this up again, it will remember my advanced system settings and be a little peppier. Typically that first login, it's doing all sorts of management. There you go.